soul, how's your spiritual health? Emotional health, first question. Spiritual health, Jesus said heart, soul. We're talking about the soul. And the Bible talks about your soul a lot. And some of you, maybe you're new to church, you're one person, two parts. You've got a physical body and a spiritual, immaterial soul. Now, the question is, what is the deepest, purest, truest part of you? We tend to think the body because it's what we're familiar with. But the deepest, truest part of you is actually the immaterial, invisible soul. How do I know? When you die and your body goes to the ground, what happens to your soul? It continues. You can live without a body, but there is no life without the soul. Therefore, the soul is the part of you that'll last forever. Now, one day God will rise your body from the dead. But what that means is to be a healthy man, it's not outside in, it's inside out. We start with the soul and we will get to the body. Both matter to the Lord. But too many men are only focused on the body, strength, appearance, and they're not worried about the soul. So the question regarding your soul is this: how much do you think about your soul? And how is your soul? And how are you doing at tending to and caring for your soul? The Old Testament alone speaks of your soul. I looked it up at least 750 times, just the Old Testament. What's really curious, in our day, for those who try to treat mental health disorders or people who are struggling, they have something called the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. The healthcare medical professionals, the psychologists, psychiatrists, they will call this the mental health Bible. And it diagnoses all of the different clinical, behavioral issues that human beings struggle with. In that entire Bible, how many times would you guess that it mentions the soul? 0. Our entire mental health industry ignores half of our being. This is where I do like the social sciences. I believe in counseling and trauma therapy. I actually like studying all of that. I think it's very helpful. But the only way for someone to really be healthy is not just treat the mind and the body, but the soul. And only the Holy Spirit really can do the work on the soul. And so for you to have a healthy soul, it's first acknowledging, like, I do have a soul. And then to ask yourself, okay, what is the plan for my soul? I mean, most of us have a plan for our body. You're like, I sleep, I hydrate, I exercise, I eat. Okay, you've got a plan for your body. What's your plan for your soul? What's your plan for your soul? And here's the big idea. You're not a person with a body who has a soul. You're a person with a soul who has a body. That if you're not well at the soul level, you're not going to be well at any level. And so your soul is your greatest possession. Your soul is the thing that'll depart and be with the Lord upon your death. Therefore, your soul should be your highest priority. This is where I don't get guys. They're like, I don't have time for church and Bible study and prayer and worship. I have too much going on. Too much going on to take care of your soul? How do you possibly think you're going to have a healthy life with a neglected soul? Right? If who you are determines how you live, if you're too busy living to be growing, you're not going to be thriving. And so many men are like, I have time for the gym, I have time for work, I don't have time for my soul. I'm telling you, that has to be the first priority. And for your soul, here's what Jesus says in Matthew 16:26. For what will it profit a man? So this is a really good word for men. If he gains the whole world and loses his soul. What Jesus is saying is, hey, you could make all the money, you could rule all the nations, and you could rack and stack all the women. And if you lose your soul, you've made a bad bet. You've made a bad trade. And what Jesus is saying is, everything out there is fine, but everything in here is more important. And I would just tell you guys, some of you need to work a little less and pray a little more. Some of you guys need to give a little less time to your hobby and a little bit more time to your worship. And that maybe you are starting to exercise dominion over external things, but you're losing dominion over your soul. Very crucial and important. Here's 4 things your soul needs. Needs presence, prayer, praise, and people. First, your soul needs presence. You're meant to live in the presence of God. So this is worship and prayer and spending time in God's presence. Prayer is talking to God, listening to God. Praise, singing. Your soul needs to sing. And I just want to honor you, men. When we started Real Men, nobody sang. I don't sing, I'm a grown man. And now you guys sing, okay? And you just need to know your soul needs that. And there's something really wonderful. It's a tremendous encouragement for other men when they see grown men worshiping in a masculine way. And it's not encouraging when you see grown men worshiping in a feminine way. I just like the frosted tips, the skinny jeans, the guy who cries with a guy liner and the painted nails. No. Okay, but the greatest worshiper, the greatest male worship leader in the Bible was David, who also killed giants and hunted large game with a knife. So that's my guy, right? That's how we want to sing and worship. We want to worship as men. We need to praise. And then lastly, you need people. God works through people, and we need each other. That's why we're here, so you guys can meet your brothers for the battle.
Hey, howdy, Pastor Mark here. Thanks for viewing the clip. And if you'd like the entire sermon, we've got it ready to go.